Okay, it's time to get on with Chapter 3, The Burning Ground. Kinda spoilers for what's about to happen, but there we go, this happens. Can't really help it. And here we have Mr. Fire-breathing angel dragon thingy turning up again. Just being a general exposition dragon at the moment, I think.
If I was your child, I'd be an awfully ugly witch, wouldn't I?
I have
Yours
to agree.
Is a face only a mother could love, and one I could never forget. If only I could remember where from.
Yes, you need to sort that out, Bayonetta. Your memory issues kind of getting in the way here. The musical piece here is Conversation with the name of Mr. Dragon Angel thing.
See, my infernal partners love my ability to eliminate your kind. I figure your sacrifice would shut them up for a while.
I have to agree on this point, but unfortunately you're a wee bit late, Bayonetta. And so lava engulfs the town. Typical. The song here is Lava Swallows the Town. Very simple. And now we have angels that are on fire. So if you want to get a pure platinum on this mission, don't actually physically touch the angels, because it's going to end badly. Thankfully, if you can get into witch time, then you can touch them. But yeah, I do dislike this chapter because it requires, well, because of the whole fire thing. It's just rather irritating, you know? Particularly if you're going for the platinums and the pure platinums, because it really does kind of just get in the way. Thankfully, kind of, if you kind of keep holding the fire button, then you can generally get a decent amount of damage dealt to these guys. Also, you do not want to be using Sharaba at all in this fight, unless you're using punch kick punch at a distance, in which case it'll work out wonderfully for you. You just probably won't get a very good combo score. Damn you, wandering tears of blood. Deciding it's going to be mean to me. Typical. Now, if you touch the lava, you are going to get hurt. Shouldn't really be a surprise, but there we go. Also, if you attack that dustbin, then you unlock the first Alfheim of the chapter. And as with Chapter 2, there are actually quite a few Alfheims, which is rather irritating, but what can you do? Now this is a fun little mission. Basically, what you've got to do is stay in the air, and the trick is to just jump off the enemies, and then as long as you kind of keep your combo going, after you've gotten high enough, then you should be okay. There is a weapon that we will get later on that is going to really help us out. But until we get to that point, there's not a lot we can do. Now, I've mentioned before the angelic script and the demonic script and the knock-in and so on. One thing I didn't bring up was that on the Alpine portals you can see words that say "Heaven's radiance outshines all," which is quite awesome. Also, this lava is a one-hit kill, so don't get hit by well, don't get caught by Mr. Beloved there, because you will die. This level's a bit of a git for that, really. Quite a few instant death moments, which are never fun in video games, but that's life, I guess. And here we have fairness. Leave it to fairness? Because basically there are kind of two variants of this enemy. Yeah, this is fairness. Nice flaming dog thing. And a wonderful wheel of death. Basically, the demonic script on the torture wheel reads "Wheel of Torture," which is awesome. Also, if you look at Bayonetta's ribbons, it says all the way down in demonic script "Bayonetta, Bayonetta, 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 Bayonetta," which is really awesome. And Fantaisie Impromptu, yay! I do love me a bit of Chopin. Basically, I would not be a fan of Chopin if it wasn't for video games. In fact, I wouldn't really know any of Chopin's music if it wasn't for video games. Which sounds ridiculous, but it's actually very true. Because the first kind of real introduction that I had to Frédéric Francois Chopin was Eternal Sonata, which features Chopin as a character and is very based on his music and his life, which is just great. So Fantaisie Impromptu is a song that I really do like. It's very different, and if I recall correctly, it was a song that Chopin didn't want releasing. Or there is the implication that that was the case. Yeah, it was composed by Chopin in 1834 and dedicated to Julien Fontana, who published the piece in spite of Chopin's request not to do so. Which I do quite like. And here we have a Use Angel Arms Alpine. These are generally quite easy. Your best tactic is to pick up the staff and do the pole dancing move repeatedly until you get to the tougher enemies. And then once you get to the tougher enemies, switch to the bow. Because even though it's slow at getting kind of attacked out, it's very powerful, and as you can see, it does a great addition for your combo score. Now normally I wouldn't, well, normally I don't use Angel Arms in actual verses, just because they do take a while to get out. Well, not get out, but kind of to do the moves, and generally I just want to attack. Generally means that my combo score goes up a little bit quicker than... Did not mean to pick up the sword, as I cannot use the sword correctly. I mean, pretty much the only Angel Arms that I can use successfully are the Angel Pole and the bow. And even then, it's only because of the 2 moves that they can do. Yeah, my expertise with Bayonetta is very kind of precise. Also in the fact that kind of my weapon usage abilities is limited, in that Scarpa Fair is one of my favourite weapons to use because I prefer the combo run that it does. It's literally just kind of the way it works. It's quick enough to get out the attacks and isn't as kind of frustrating as well, Sharaba lowers your combo ranking quite a lot because it's so powerful. But yeah, I just prefer Sharaba. No, not Sharaba, Scarborough Fair. Either way, music here is Close Call, I believe. And that little dancing a go-go baby was a nice little reference to Beautiful Joe, of which there are actually quite a few. There was the gravestone in the opening, which had Joe on it, which is a little bit of a reference to Beautiful Joe. You also have an item which he basically brings you back from death if you lose all your health in a chapter, which is called a red hot shot. Basically, there's a lot of things related to Joe, Beautiful Joe, which is because he's like red hot, blah. Specifically, he has a move called the red hot kick, which is also a move in Bayonetta, which is just awesome that that's there. Now, basically, here you do have to do some fancy jumping. It's not too difficult, and I think after that first batch of enemies, there are no others. So it's all about the platforming. And we're about to get to a rather frustrating section of the level. Why is this frustrating? Well, if you remember the rather mean quick time event from chapter 2, well, there's another one here. I managed to do that absolutely fine this time round, but on subsequent playthroughs, largely for other reasons, I failed miserably. Anyway, about the Umbra Witches 2. Umbra Witches, controllers of the dark power, the ways of their discipline were actually quite varied. Breathing, movement, medicine and tactics were joined in the Middle Ages by training in the operation of heavy weapons, culminating in a curriculum whose total breadth and intensity are hard to ascertain. This training forged both the body and the soul, honing each witch into a vessel capable of withstanding the rigours of the magical arts, and allowing one to begin to interact with other dwellers of the magical realm. This interaction with the world of spirits lies at the very core of magic. To put these dwellers of the magical realm into layman's terms, they most closely fit the common conception of demons. Developing demon-like powers, it seems this was one of the reasons these women were burdened with a sad fate, always living in history's shadows. I have been further able to gain no further solid information regarding the magical arts, as the witch clan has long since been annihilated and their memory forgotten. The residents of the town detest them with all their hearts. To allude to their existence is quite the taboo. There we go. Yet the key to unlocking the witch's mystery still remains. Invigorate, the man held up by many to be a paragon of the faith, continues to seek out any remaining witches. Are the witches, once thought to be wiped from the earth, still among us? If they are, how have they survived this long? What do they now know? And where on earth could they be hiding? Finally, I've obtained scraps of a document that appears to lay out another element of a principle of the magical art. I am unable to decipher the writing on the document, but it seems to describe a martial arts technique known as dodge offset. I pray it will be of use to someone, so I have included it within these notes. So there's Antonio being a helpful guy and giving us some little tips about how to do stuff, specifically dodge offset, which you do want to try and get good at, as especially in upping your combo ranking, it is so helpful. And already we have 2 fairnesses. Aren't they just wonderful to us? Now, as I believe I said before, that's pushing the X QuickTime event that you saw there. There are literally no other QuickTime events like that in the game. The only QuickTime events we have are nice jumping ones, which, well, I say that, we have one other QuickTime event type. But it's not really a problem. And it's actually coming right up in what is a really, really awesome little event. I really enjoy watching this one. It's just brilliant to see. Okay, I believe that little track there was close call. This one is Action. And we get this little awesome sequence of just spamming that X button to smash through. It's just great.